So we were at page number 115, 115. We have just listened to Shylock's argument in reply to Duke's question. How do you expect mercy when you do not show mercy to others? When you are not showing mercy to others, how do you expect others to show mercy to you? For that he replies saying that you have bought slaves and you allow them to have the rights of your children. Do you get them married to your children? Do you allow them to sleep on your comfortable beds? Do you give them the delicious food that you give to your children, to the slaves? You will not do it. You will say, we shall not, because we have bought it, and therefore we have the right to do it. Similarly, I too will say that I have got it with a great price. Therefore, I have the right to decide, and I want to have a pound of flesh from Antonio's body. Nobody can question it. You have to grant it. That's where we stopped. There is no force in the decrees of Venice. I stand for judgment. Answer, shall I have it? Shall I have justice? Duke, upon my power I may dismiss this court, unless Bellario, a learned doctor, whom I have sent for to determine this, come here today. So Duke says, when Shylock asked him, will you grant me justice? Will my request be granted to me? Duke says, he does not say that I shall grant you. He does not say I shall not grant you. He simply says, upon my power I may dismiss this court. I have the power to dismiss this court. I may do it unless Dr. Bellario comes. So the Duke had made a request to famous Dr. Bellario, who is an expert in law, so that he will come and judge. Because this is a very rare case. First time coming across a case like this. So he had invited, a special request was made to Dr. Bellario. So if he comes, then we will continue with the court, continue with the trial scene. Otherwise, I will dismiss the court for a time being. Scenario. My lord here stays without a messenger with letters from the doctor, new come from Padua. Here stays without means continue to stay. That means he has been already waiting there. That's the meaning. Somebody has been already waiting there. My lord here stays without a messenger with letters from the doctor. A messenger has come and he has been waiting here already. He has come from Dr. Bellario and he has a message. New come from Padua. New come means just came from Padua. Just came means he has already come. He has already come. So he just came and he is waiting. Duke, bring us the letters, call the messenger. Okay, ask the messenger to come. Ask him to produce the letters. Bassanio, good cheer, Antonio. What man courage yet? The Jews shall have my flesh, blood, bones, and all, ere thou shalt lose for me one drop of blood. So, meanwhile, the Duke has asked someone to go and call the messenger and get the letters which he has brought. Meanwhile, Bassanio tries to offer one last offer he is making. This time the offer is not made or offer is not requested of Shylock. He gives the offer to Antonio, his friend. He tells, good cheer, Antonio. What man courage yet? Have courage. Have courage, Antonio. Don't lose heart. The Jews shall have my flesh, blood, bones, and all. Instead of your blood and bones and flesh, all that, I will give my own. So Basani is offering himself to be executed. Or Basani says, let Shylock take a pound of flesh from my body, not from your body, because you got the money for me. The Jews shall have my flesh, blood, bones, and all. Ere thou shalt lose for me one drop of blood. Ere is before. Before thou shalt lose one drop of blood for me, I shall give everything of mine to Shylock. My bones, my blood, my flesh, and everything I will offer to the Jew. I don't want you to lose even a drop of blood for my sake. This true friendship. Then Antonio replies, this is very, very important passage. Please pay attention because this has been asked many times and important. Antonio, I am a tainted wether of the flock, me test for death. The weakest kind of fruit drops earliest to the ground. And so let me, you cannot better be employed, Bassanio, than to live still and write mine epitaph. Very famous words of Antonio. So when Bassanio offered himself to Antonio, saying that I don't allow you to shed even a drop of blood from you. Instead of that, I shall offer myself in your place. Let Shylock take everything I have from me. Antonio replies, I am a tainted feather of the flock. Tainted is diseased ram. Tainted feather is diseased dog. Ram, Aram. Ram is the male sheep. Ewe is the female sheep. Yesterday we saw ewe. This is a ram. Ram is the male sheep. Diseased is having some disease. Having some disease. That is here actually the meaning is one meaning is castrated ram. A ram which is castrated. Because what makes a male sheep a male is its ability, its virility. So if you castrate a ram, then it is useless for producing new ones. So Antonio is someone who has lost everything. He has nothing left. Whatever is important, everything has been lost. He has become bankrupt. So I am a tainted feather of the flock. That is a diseased, affected. Another word you can say is sick. So when you say tainted feather, so spelling you should be careful. W-E-T-H-E-R, not W-E-A-T-H-E-R. Weather is climate. W-H-E-R is different. This is a W-E-T-H-E-R. So tainted weather is the sick ram. R-A-M, ram. The sick ram. That is the male sheep which is sick. Actual meaning is castrated, but for students normally we don't give that meaning. because it's not so polite to speak about it, but doesn't matter. For your knowledge, it's okay. So the meetest for death, the weakest kind of fruit drops earliest to the ground. Ah. There are so many fruits on a fruit tree. Which fruit falls first? The weakest fruit will fall. Similarly, there are so many leaves on a tree which is ripe. Which leaf will fall? The weakest will fall first. So, similarly, the weakest person should be sacrificed. Now, I am the weakest one, therefore, allow me to be sacrificed. That's what Antonius is saying. I am the tainted feather of the flock, meetest for death. Meetest means suitable or fit. Meetest, suitable or fit. Fit for death. The weakest kind of fruit drops earliest to the ground. And so let me, you cannot better be employed, occupied. You cannot better be occupied, Bassanio, than to live still and write mine epitaph. Epitaph is an inscription. Epitaph is an inscription written on your tombstone. See, you have many people of different faiths have different ways of burying somebody. But in Christian, normally Christians, Catholics, Christian background, people are buried. So a hole is dug and a pit is made and you are buried. And above your tomb, they will build a beautiful tombstone. There will be a tombstone. Above the tomb, this stone will be placed. First, they will keep bricks with bricks or stones, they tie the whole thing, both all the four sides, and above keep a tombstone. On the tombstone, they will write some beautiful quotations. Some beautiful quotations will be written. Something like, here lies so and so. Here lies so and so, who dedicated his life for so and so. Or he say, here lies a great personality. Then something more like that. Or some just normally 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines, something like that. Or sometimes it will be just even 1 paragraph. Some people may write 1 paragraph. So that is epitaph. Epitaph. So epitaph is a inscription, a writing on the tombstone. So now what Bassanio says is that, Antonio says is that, Bassanio, I am the person fit to die now. Why? Because I am already weak. How did he become weak? He has lost all his shit. So even if I survive now, there is no use because I have no means of living. All my means of living has been taken away. Therefore, I am the weakest now compared to you. You are very young and you have nothing lost. You have everything. You have got married to a woman who is very rich. So you have the means of living, but I do not have. So I am the person fit to die. You stay. You remain. I will go. And when I die and when I am buried, on my tomb, you keep a tombstone. On that, you write something beautiful about me so that people can read it and they will understand our friendship. Understood? That's what Antonio is saying. Enter Nerissa dressed like a lawyer's clerk. It is Nerissa who comes, but dressed like a lawyer's clerk. And these people who know Jessica also will not recognize her. Duke, come you from Padua, from Bellario? Have you come from Padua? From Dr. Bellario. Nerissa, from both, my lord. Bellario greets your grace. So Nerissa says from both. From both means, yes, I have come from Padua I have come from Dr. Bellario. And he greets your grace, she's telling the Duke. Presents a letter, gives a letter to Duke. Bassanio, why dost thou whet thy knife so earnestly? So now the clerk gave the letter to Duke. Most probably Duke must be opening the letter and having a look at it. So Nerissa, meanwhile, Bassanio says, is asking Shylock, why dost thou whet thy knife so earnestly? Whet, W-H-E-T, not W-T, W-E-T, W-H-E-T, whet. Whet is sharpen. Sharpen. Why do you sharpen your knife? So meanwhile, Shylock is busy sharpening the knife. Those of you go to saloon, now these days you don't have this kind of thing. Earlier, say that from 10 years or 15 years ago, when you were very small men, if you're going to the haircutting saloon, you'll find that there will be a belt like you have a belt, you use a belt, like a belt like thing hanging on the wall, on a nail. And the one who does, the one who's in the saloon, the barber, so he will take the knife and sharpen it on the belt. On the belt, he'll sharpen it. So that is that was used in olden days. So Shylock was busy sharpening his knife, and Bassanio asked him, why dost thou whet thy knife so earnestly? So earnestly. So earnestly means with God of interest. Shylock, to cut the forfeiture from that bankrupt there. To cut the forfeiture. Already I have told you what is a forfeiture is. Cut the forfeiture means the penalty. What is the penalty? Pound of flesh. To cut the pound of flesh from that bankrupt there. The bankrupt over there, you know, that is Antonio. To cut the flesh from him, I am sharpening the knife. Graciano. Not on thy soul, but on thy soul, harsh Jew, thou makest thy knife keen, but no metal can. No, not the hangman's axe, bear half the keenness of thy sharp envy. Can no praise pierce thee? This is asked by Graciano. It's Bassanio who asked why you are sharpening the knife. And Shylock answered saying, I am sharpening the knife to cut the pound of flesh from that bankrupt Antony. Now Graciano becomes very emotional and very powerful words he uses. This passage is very important. They have asked many times. This passage, pay attention. Graciano says, not on thy soul, but on thy soul harsh Jew. Playing on the word. Shakespeare is playing on the word S-O-L-E and S-O-U-L. S-O-L-E, soul is a piece of leather. I already told you, a belt-like thing, but in the saloon they were using to sharpen the knife. That is soul, S-O-L-E, soul, a piece of leather. You are sharpening the knife. Actually, Shylock is sharpening the knife on the S-O-L-E, soul. That is the leather. But Graciano is saying, you are sharpening your knife not on the soul, but on your soul. On thy soul means Shylock's soul. That is Atma. That's Atma. You are sharpening your knife on your own Atma. Harsh Jew. You are a hard-hearted man, a cruel man. Actually, you are, though you are doing it on the leather, but actually you are sharpening your knife on your own soul. That is to speak about how hard-hearted Shylock is. Thou makest thy knife keen, that is sharp. You make your knife keen, but no metal can, no, not the hangman's axe, where half the keenness of thy sharp envy. So, what is envy? Envy is jealousy. Very important. Envy is jealousy. So, envy is jealousy. So, Shylock is full of jealousy. He is jealous of Antonio. Why? Antonio has been giving money without taking any interest. Antonio has been helping the people who have been destroyed by Shylock because they had to pay the money. If you don't pay the money, their property will be taken away, their life will be taken away. So that time, Antonio will give them money without any interest and they will pay back to Shylock. So because of these reasons, Shylock was very angry with him and he was jealous of Antonio. So, but Graciano says, you are sharpening the knife on the soul of yours, so even. And you cannot make it sharp. No metal can know, not the hangman's axe spare half the keenness of thy sharp envy. Your knife is not so sharp, but your envy is terribly sharp. And not even the hangman's axe is as sharp as your envy. Hangman's axe reference is those days when people were hanged to death. People who belong to royal people, the royal people, high class people, people who have great prestige, they were given an option. That means they were given a privilege that they will be killed with the help of a sharp axe. Instead of putting them, hanging them by the rope, which was considered very cheap or very mean, very humiliating, these people were great people are given one privilege that they will be killed by with an axe, a sharp axe. With that, they will just cut and he's out instead of just hanging and dying like that with a lot of pain. At a time, you are put to death. So that's a privilege given to certain privileged people, aristocratic people. So political prisoners and things like that. So now Graciano says that axe is supposed to be very, very sharp. But even that is not much sharp when compared to your envy. Your jealousy is sharper than any other implement, much sharper than the axe of the hangman. Understood, no? So this is very powerful words that and Shylock is very cruel, extremely cruel, and is full of jealousy, and his jealousy will be much sharper than any other metal. Shylock replies, no, none that thou hast wit enough to make. Wit is W-I-T, wit is high intelligence. Wit is a high intelligence. It's a humor filled with intelligence. It's a mixture of both intelligence and humor. That is wit. No, none that thou hast wit enough to make. Sorry. Can no prayers pierce thee? That's where Dacianus stopped. Can no prayers pierce thee? That is pierce means to penetrate, go through. Can no prayers pierce thee means can no prayer pierce thy heart? Is it possible to soften your heart? So many people are pleading. So many people are asking, requesting. Is it How is it that nothing is able to pierce your heart? You are not showing mercy at all. Can anybody make you to show mercy? Child of, no, none that thou hast wit enough to make.